So oil dropped minus 30 some dollars on the barrel not too long ago. It's rebounded, but I went down when it was down low. I went to the gas station. I called up the owner and I was like, look, I want you to pay me to fill up my tank. And he's like, what? I said, yeah, man, your oil is like worth minus money. I mean, if I'm gonna fill up my tank, I want you to pay me. He's like, I'm paying you? Are you kidding me? I bought that one as $50 a barrel. I can't lose money. I can't. No, it's part of the business, man. You got to take your lumps. The rich say, Wall Street says that your gas is worth less, minus money, minus a gallon. I want my gas for less. I want you to pay me. I mean, as low as it is, you're going to pay me to fill up my tank. And what he did? Click. Now, I really didn't do that, but how many of you did that to a coin dealer? I know. I got the calls. You know who you are. You know if you did that or not. I got the calls, people coming in the shop as soon as it dropped back $3 an ounce. Guess what? They all come in here. They all call up on the phone. How much you selling it for? How much you selling it for? Well, it's only at 14 something an ounce or 15 an ounce. And I'm like, look, I can't sell it that cheap. I have that more than that in it. And I saw the comments on the videos. I heard it. I saw all of them. I seen every single one of them. You know, telling me, yeah, this part of business, man. You know, you got to, and then you're going to charge higher for it. You know, when something like that happens to a coin shop or any business for that matter, it's an anomaly, okay? And yeah, it went on for a couple months. Now silver's kind of rebounding a little bit. Gold's definitely was there to stay. But when that happens, that's an anomaly. You know, I had 2 months here of just about 2 months of a very extreme high demand of silver and of gold, of course, but mainly let's talk about silver here because it's the one that really hurt us, or at least could have hurt us. And it drops like that over a weekend's time, 2 days. And, you know, dealers are like, what in the world, man? I was paying 17 or whatever, 18. I was paying Melter, a little above Melter. The thing of it is, this value of things is relative. You know, when you take the stock market, for instance, you've got people who have a lot of money who are dictating what stuff is worth and dictating how well our economy is based off of what they're trading and not trading. And, you know, and how much of it. So here we are as a coin dealer looking at the silver and people wanting us to sell it to them for whatever based off of the new melt. And then I got people saying, well, you'll buy it from that melt, won't you? And then you'll sell it for these high premiums. No, I didn't. And I can tell you most dealers are not doing that. I'm in the dealer networks and I see what they're paying. And right now, if you're lucky, if you can get $2 over spot for silver, generic silver rounds, trust me, I know for a fact. You might go to some small coin shop somewhere and they're going to be like trying to buy it less than what the melt is or at the melt right now. You know, that's fine. I mean, you're always going to have an exception to it, but that is not the rule. But, you know, surviving in this environment, surviving in this business, you know, little things happen. Coin collectors themselves, the stackers and all the people that buy the silver, they can also be just as greedy as the dealers, and they can be just as tedious to deal with. And I know because I'm in this business, but, you know, I was never going to, you know, my story at the beginning here, obviously I didn't do that. It's just an example. We never think gas stations are greedy because they didn't sell me their oil for less than what they have in it. I mean, it don't work like that. A coin shop is a little more personal, so people think they can just go in and do that. They think I've got to change my prices for whatever Wall Street says. And, you know, I can tell you, no matter what Wall Street did, even whenever it went up or down, I continued at my buy price as long as it was within $2 of what the spot was, or the melt, you know, whatever. You know, if it was 14, 15, or 16, whatever it was, I tried to stay the same unless it really dropped. So I was buying and selling at the same rate, and I hardly changed my rate. I had to go up a little bit. I have to pay more now, and I do have to charge a little bit more, but I'm still not very far off from what it was. I mean, $22 for the most recent year Silver Eagle. Now it's 25. I got 25 on my Eagles, but I have to because I'm almost paying that 20, 22. Right now, you got to pay about 22 something to even get a monster box or more. And that's from other dealers, and that's from, you know, you got to buy the whole box. You're talking, you know, $10,000 to $11,000. So anyways, I was just wanting to kind of share a little something, maybe a little perspective, because value is relative. Value is what we put in something. Indian cents, they're worth more than melt. Nickels, they're worth more than melt. Especially the collector's nickels, the key dates and all that, they're always worth more than melt. And we don't question that. We don't think because silver drops or gold drops that we should sell them cheaper. They've always got that numismatic value. And we tend to think of generic bullion as, oh, well, spot says it's worth this much, I'm not paying this much over it. Well, in reality, if you do look at the track record of generic bullion and bullion from other countries, like let's say the Philharmonic or the Britannia, all these coins from different countries, they've always traded at a premium, and some years are lower mintage. Take silver maple leafs, take the Libertads from the 1 onzas from the Mexico. Some of those years are worth way more than the bullion that their content is. And the reason that is because the demand for those is higher, because the mintage is lower, and because they're popular. People like those designs. So yeah, even though they were put out as bullion, they're worth far more. Same thing with the 96 Silver Eagle, the 86 Silver Eagle, the 94's even got a premium. I mean, you can go across the board and look at some of this bullion that has a premium. Not only that, you have certain bars and rounds that actually have a premium themselves. I mean, they were intended to be bullion, and for whatever reason, whether it be the content on them or whatever that appealed to people, or maybe they were a low run on the dice or whatever it was, they've got a premium too. It happens. That's part of this business. I know someone wants to go down and buy a roll of prospecting rounds and try to get it so much above melt because that's just what they are. They're just my bullion. They're just my stack. And that's okay. That's fine. But don't expect it if silver goes up or silver goes down, because the market, I mean, if it's the way it works. It's not about that. It's about demand. And we just found out that silver can drop, demand can go up, and that's a rarity in this business. Maybe this is the thing. Maybe silver spot has been hurting the hobby. In other words, the fact that we based what our stuff is worth, our silver coins are worth, on what Wall Street says and what the rich are doing, basically what people with the money tell us what something's worth, that's kind of hurting the hobby because it keeps prices suppressed. If a Silver Eagle should be worth $25, even though melt's at $15, maybe that's normal. Maybe that's where it's supposed to be. I mean, we know, and I did reports on this myself. I did videos on this myself from where I had to sell 3 rolls of bullion, silver rounds, 1 ounces, at a coin show. I had it sitting out there. I had it set at melt, and no one touched it. I had to sell it to a dealer for a little bit less than melt. 25 cents less on each coin to melt to another dealer just to sell it, to free up the capital. Now, if I had those, I could easily get 20 bucks out of each one of them, maybe even 22. And that's what I'm trying to say. We needed the kickstart. I mean, I know that there's some negatives in this as far as what silver did. I'm not talking about the pandemic, but there are some positives here. Maybe this has revitalized the hobby. Hopefully it will. I know premiums will come down a little bit. I think I've seen it just a tad. But I mean, the main point of it is that let's take the positives out of it and stop looking at the negatives. It's best not to accuse anybody of being greedy whenever things happen. When anomalies happen in the market, big spikes or big drops, the best thing to do is take a deep breath and look at the reasons why this is happening. Like I said, I've done other videos on this, and I always knew that when something dramatic happens, something bad's happening outside of our little, stacker world, outside of our little coin dealer world, and we need to take note of that. Better just to be happy about it and be glad that if you wanted to sell all that you've been buying, you could probably get some decent money out of it, as long as you didn't buy it back in 11 and 12 whenever it was up in $30 an ounce. So anyways, thanks for watching my latest video, and just a little bit of perspective on value. Please hit the like button, and most of all, please subscribe, and have a great day.